We are in that period of time that is infamous in every summer, for it marks the sad events of many centuries ago, when the ancient spiritual home of the Jewish people, Jerusalem, and its holy temple were destroyed. And for 3 weeks throughout every summer, we abstain, even in our times, from some of the simple joys of summer, so that we reflect on our past and hope that such reflections sharpen our vision on who we are, what heaven expects of us, and what we can individually and collectively do to make the future better, not only for ourselves, but in truth, being the light unto the nations that the prophet hoped we would be for all humankind. And in doing so, I'd like to share a passage from the final page of the Talmud tractate Makot, which describes a visit to the ruins of the ancient temple of Jerusalem by some of the sages who lived in that era, most notably among them, Rabbi Akiva. He and a few of his colleagues were walking in Jerusalem, shuffling their feet through the ash and rubble of all that remained from that ancient, wonderful temple. And some of the sages were tearful. Some were outright crying. And as they contemplated the moment and the place, Rabbi Akiva began to smile. Then Rabbi Akiva began to chuckle. Rabbi Akiva began to laugh. And the sages, his colleagues, looked at him and they said, Akiva, how can you be so joyous? How can you be so happy? How can your mouth be full of laughter at a time like this? There was an exchange of verses, as rabbis would do. They countered each other, a verse here, a verse there. Rabbi Akiva cited a verse that in essence delivered the following message: when nothing can get any worse, then things can only get better. Akiva looked at his colleagues and he said, where we are is ground zero for spiritual destruction. And yet, we stand as rabbis, we stand as sages, we stand as Jews, and we survived with our flesh and blood this destruction. Not all survived, but we did. A building is destroyed, but a religion is still vibrant. I have hope in the future. I have confidence in our people. And if we have hit rock bottom, then there's only one place for us to go, and that's up. That means tomorrow will be better than today. And the day after that will have beacons of optimism and hope and opportunity on the near future, which will then allow for beacons and torches and spotlights on an even better long-term future for our people. Some folks have weathered this pandemic better than others. But watching the news every night, reading the headlines every morning, we know that many, many lives have been impacted in sad, hurtful ways. It has not been an easy time. But because the Jewish people have been through hard times, maybe even harder times, we know that optimism is possible. Hope is within our reach. Leadership is something now that we can provide our communities, our neighbors, our world. In essence, because of where we've been, we've done it, we've prevailed, we have succeeded, we have flourished. And indeed, so too will be the story of this generation fighting its current battles. We can prevail. We can separate good from evil. We can separate that which holds us back from that which could be the wind beneath our wings, if we're able to channel our energy properly, do so without taking our eyes off of the targets, being what's best for ourselves, and thereby being the best version of what the future can look like for our neighbors. Hillel, the great sage, in essence, said the same thing in so many of the Proverbs attributed to his wisdom, his insight, and his scholarship. Tomorrow is going to be better. I believe it. I hope you too believe it. May these days of summer, which have a little bit of drag on them because of our history, also provide us with the optimism to imagine a better future. Let us partner with the best energies around us and the best emotions still in our hearts, the best thoughts that are still in our minds. And when we come on the other side, or whether it is Tisha B'Av in 10 days or a pandemic in a number of weeks and months, we will be poised to march forward to make the world a better place. And then we'll be able to look back upon what we experienced and say we were there, we survived, we grew, and we flourished, all because we chose not to give up. Have a great day, and thank you.